Hello, this is Original My Rule, and it's last weekend was pre-release weekend, and I just got my hands on my cards from my local shop and just wanted to open them, and I've been working towards having this set up to actually open stuff and talk about Magic as one of my other hobbies besides just general gaming in itself. So I'm just gonna go over what I got today. So picked up 4 pre-release kits, a set booster, and a jumpstart booster. And for the buy box promos, we got 2 of these nice Llanowar Loam speakers. I always love these extended art promos. I'm glad that they stopped doing the promos that you can't actually open. And for each pre-release kit I buy at my local shop, they also give out 2 set boosters. So before we get to the pre-release kits, I'm gonna go ahead and open these. Oh. The art card is really sticking to the first card. There we go. We got Shauna Purifying Blade as their first art card. Yeah, the art cards are fun. I like sometimes using them as placeholders for when there's double face cards in the set. If there's an art card that shows the first face, then sometimes I use that as a proxy in some of my commander decks. Regular Island, Beachfront, Valerian Terror, Dominion Librarian, another land, Queen, Anel of Rudach. Interesting. I might have to put that in my tokens deck. Some various mid-range beasts are back. Oh, I do love the treatment on this set. Well, I love the treatments on most sets, actually, I should say. Got some more legendaries. I'm setting legendaries aside because I keep my own collection of commanders. And maybe some point I'll go through that. It's pretty big. Sulfur Springs for a rare. Artillery Blast for a foil. And we actually got a list card. We got a Benediction of Moons. Well, I remember when this card was originally printed. I always thought Haunt was a fun mechanic. I've always been sad that they've never brought it back, even for a small few cards. Maybe someday it will show up in like a Modern Horizons or something. Maybe it's just these gloves. I can't get the art cards away from the land. Oh, Stained Glass. Balmor Battle Mage Captain. One of the classic birds. Correction Warhorse. Mesa Cavalier. Battle Rage Blessing. Inscribed Tablet. Gold. Urtai Scorn. Lagamos. End of Hatred. Petrova, Steward of Tides, Defiler of Flesh. The Defilers. I think those are going to be really fun to mess with, especially in Commander. Foil Scout the Wilderness, and another list card, a Showcase Mimic. On my table there. Sorry if you want to actually hear the packs. I had my mic pick up rather low because there's a lot of extra noise in my room. It's been pretty hot here, and I have a pretty good AC running. So I have it set up so it filters the noise from it. Oil Island, pretty. Phyrexian Viscount, Essence Scatter, Charismatic Guide, Monstrous War Leash, the new sagas, those are pretty interesting. Wraith. No, I haven't gotten a Wraith yet. Alas, no. Ooh, Rona. Here. Rona, Baldred, Aritza. Ooh, a foil temporary lockdown. When temporary lockdown enters the battlefield, exile each non-land permanent with mana cost 2 value or less until it lifts. That could be a fun card too. And our bird token. There are just so many legends in this set. You're probably going to see me go through this pile a lot. Oh, yeah, and I forgot this art card. This was Naughty Jin. Jaya. Jaya, Fiery Negotiator. I actually read through all of the Time Spiral Saga books when they came out, and I love seeing Jaya and Joda. I actually, what I did was, since I heard that Joda was, he showed up in the actual Time Spiral books, I actually went back and read the Ice Age book he originally appears in first, which talks about a lot of interesting magic, like insights from how the lore originally talked about, like drawing mana and being a planeswalker. Pixie Illusionist, Stall for Time, Void Sea Scavenger, Contaminated Aquifer. We just got a Showcase Ballard. Resolute Reinforcements, Weatherseed Treaty. Ooh, Rollick Mons. Ooh. Foil Maria Scholar of Antiquity. Or Showcase, sorry. Guardian of New Benalia. The list is an interesting mechanic I'll have to play around with. And that's actually a 3 rare pack. So Guardian of New Benalia and a foil Anointed Peacekeeper. As Anointed Peacekeeper enters the battlefield, look at opponent's hands, then choose any card name. Oh yeah, this is the new Spell Denier. That's interesting. And a dragon token. Oh yeah, Scholar of Antiquity is the new really interesting non-blue, non-black artifact card. I've really wanted them to start reaching into green, especially as an artifact, and talk about how artifacts in green should act. I've been really waiting for more artificers to be printed in green for some fun stuff. Let's see. Destroy Evil. First, Stained Glass Mountain. I really want to get a bunch of these stained glasses. I'm not sure whether I like the Theros cards better or these ones. Flowstone Infusion. Flowstone was a really interesting old mechanic. I used to play around with the enchantment that tapped from I think it was from Time Spiral. Hammerhand, Take Up Shield, Radiant Grove, Garla of the Bloodfist Hold. We had that one. Hold. I don't see it. Elvish Hydromancer. Pretty sure we had Baldra. Yeah, Baldra. Odian Desecrator. Another Scorn. Another... I think that's another Tula. Wrath, Alice, Barova. Maybe that's the first Tarula. The Yavimaya Coast. A new printing of the old King lands. I am probably going to have to pick up some more of those. Foiled Join Forces. And another list card. This time it's a Wizard class from the same set as the Mimic. Fun card. I need to play around with some of those in other commander decks I have. Or even with new decks I need to make. Kitsu Amplifier. Interesting idea. I always like to play on Amplifier. Geothermal Bog, Phyrexian Espionage, Phyrexian Ranger, that's been printed a ton. Barkweave Crusher, Joint Forces, Joint Expiration, Hero's Blade, as long as it's Legendary, Trample, and Haste. Another fun equipment card. Okay, here we start getting into better versions. I'm going to switch out this for my more sought-after version. Brook. I might have to actually sort these by color real quick. There's just so many legends in this new set. Yep. Brook's new. Vodian Mineslinger. So these ones are going to be interesting, these dual kicker cards. Just like the Anavolvers and stuff, they're kind of hard to get into certain decks because they are counted as tricolored cards. Hurler Cyclops. Foil. And a treasure token. Did Sleeper Scourge. Island. Tribute to Urborg. Writhing Necromance, which I think, or Necromass, which is I think a really just fun, weird zombie card. Might play around with it with Stitcher Ghoul. Battlefly Swarm. Mass to Dust, Combat Research, Mimeomancer, fun little fetch, Runic Shot, Strength of the Coalition, Aeron, I think I had an Aeron, but a foil Aeron, and a Leyline's Binding, which is the better O-ring we got this time, and the bird token. Wonder if that's one of the harder to find tokens here. So, foil Aeron. And this is the last of the pre-release packs. I already see a soldier token in the back. Stained Class Tura. Swamp. Phyrexian Warhorse. Mesa Cavalier. Sunlit Marsh. Smash the Dust. Frostfish Strike. Frostfish. Fist Strider. Walking Bulwark. That I think is going to go in my Defender Enchantment Commander deck. Colony, may also probably that. Petrova, the Waves, I know I have. Legamos, Hand Hatred, I don't know about. The new Joyra. Yeah, time counters. Have to play around with that. Might need to make... Might be a card I make a commander deck around sooner rather than later. Legamos or Legamos. Legamos. Yep, that's an upgrade to that one. Alright. Now we're gonna get into my first pre-release pack. Or box. So first pre-release box. I kind of do like that they've gone to the paper. Or these sealed paper ones. They're just kind of fun. I like all the little tokens. I punch a lot of all these tokens that Wizards of the Coast have been doing lately. I actually punch them out and save them. I have a ton of paper +1/+1 counters and tokens from all the commander decks. Got a blue nice Dominaria United die. I keep a lot of the die even though I don't use them very often. Got our packs. Pre-release card is a Llanowar Green Widow. And I always pull out the divider to use in the rest of my sorting collection. And I got my code, which I don't know if I'm going to use. Got our Green Widow. I'll go ahead and get safety system open. Especially in these gloves, this cellophane wrapper is really hard to get hold of. Yeah, it's a Green Widow with a return to the battlefield mechanic that only works once. That's an interesting thing to mess with. Dominaria United Field Draft Booster. My local shop isn't currently doing in-store play, so they just sell their pre-release kits. Keladon Strike Team, Splatter Goblin, a new goblin that when it dies, a creature target opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Academic Wall. The new defenders are kind of interesting. Again, a lot of them are probably going to go in my old commander defender deck. I might go over that sometime. Hexblade Tortoise, another list card. Captain's Call, another soldier token generator. At some point, I'm going to build a soldier tribal commander deck. So that's definitely probably going to go in there. Sacred Peaks, Bog Badger. These also, I wonder which, these are the looser packs. They might be from the Japanese printing facility. This looks a little dark. Coral Colony, Baldivarian Atrocity, another Queen. Academy Lore Master. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player may draw an additional card. If they do, spells they cast this turn cost +2 more. Kind of want to put this in so I had an idea for my second white-blue deck to be a kind of Grand Arbiter, or what is he? The leader from original Rav, or Azorius, the judge. So, and make it a deck based around changing everything's like casting cost, how much it would cost to play stuff. Foil Impede Movement. Tap target creature and put 3 stun counters on it. I do like the stun mechanic. I think that might, or the stun counters being a new kind of mechanic in itself for doing tap down. I think this really should be how all ice effects should really be rewritten too, because it's just so much easier to deal with. People not forgetting to untap their creatures. I think that's going to help out a lot. And filler card, which I keep those for various reasons. Sometimes they're good to, if I need to make proxies for like a normal poker-sized board game, need to fix cards or stuff, you can just print labels and put them on ad cards. Or hell, even if you're just proxying your own card game. Argavian Flanic, Phalanx. For each creature you control, another soldier that might go in a soldier deck. Guy's Might's been reprinted. Interesting Domain, Pump. Strike Team, Battle Rage, Academy Wall, Stall for Time, Mesa Cavalier, Woodline Ridge, Citizen Arrest. It's just such a silly picture. Like, we've seen Phyrexians just, especially from sleeper agents, just break out or be really powerful, and yet this one's just tied up. Unless they're implying that this is like an actual arrestor mage, because we've seen law mages and arrestor mages, especially in Ravnica, and I think the plane that is it the one where the Gideon was from, or the one that it was the one where Gideon was from. So what, Theros I think had an arrestor mage or a law mage of some sort. Fury Stilton, Mossbeard Ancient, Linebreaker Baloth, Zar Ojanin, so the new Ojanin, or new younger Ojanin, or new family member of the Ojanin line. Kind of need to see what his story is. And a regular Llanowar Green Widow, an island, and a soldier. And the soldiers aren't bad, but I have way too many soldiers. Back in 10th edition, when we first got tokens, a lot of people that I knew didn't want them, but they knew I liked tokens, especially saplings, because I had a pretty good casual sapling deck at the time, and I just got handed almost every 10th edition token that people I knew opened, and just have boxes of various tokens from over the years. And I do use them. The way I set up my commander decks do use tokens. Juniper Order Root Weaver, white green +1/+1 counter card, Vanquisher's Axe, another cheap power pump equipment. Broken Wings, something that punishes. I like that it's a naturalize with a punishment for flying creatures. It makes it a much more utility card. I know it does cost more, but I think especially in Commander, this gives you a little more room to work with so the spell just isn't dead in your hand. Maria's Outrider, Toxic Abomination, Impulse, Phyrexian Espionage, which I think looks really cool. And the whole thing about the birds. I think this is kind of a weird meme in itself. I think the Phyrexians using birds as spies is hilarious. Destroy Evil, Eerie Soul Tender, another Citizen's Arrest, Runic Shot, Love Song of Night and Day, Decent White Saga, Steward of Tides, Valorant Veteran. This is actually kind of one I was wanting, especially for if I do ever make a soldier commander deck. It's such a, I know people are hating on it, but I think this is actually a pretty decent soldier lord. It's a nice lower cost soldier lord. My first Forest. Nice. And a Phyrexian token. A 2/2 black Phyrexian token. Classic. I'm happy they're printing more of the Phyrexian tokens. Personally, I think they should just keep printing more of every token, but we'll see as time goes on what gets tokens and what doesn't, because there's still a bunch of old cards that I believe needs tokens. Branch Rider, Vashino, love to see the Vashino back. Tide Turner, blue mana, instance or sorcery spells, or a kick spell. Might mess with a kicker deck at some point. Those are going to be interesting. Semite Herbalist becomes tapped. So that's really interesting. It's something that requires being tapped, so you can use other stuff to tap it and get benefit. Fight down, target creature you control deals its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. A one-sided fight. These, I think, are always really good, no matter how much they pretty much cost, because it's a non-retaliatory. It doesn't retaliate. Especially this one also lists planeswalkers, which is an interesting added thing. Thrill of Possibility, that's been reprinted. Automatic Librarian, Flowstone, Haunted Mine, Joint Exploration, scry 2, then draw a card. If the spell was kicked, you may put a land from your grave. So it's another get a card, play a land if you have one. Joyra's Codex. This, I think, is going to be interesting in some 5-color decks. I don't know if this is going to go in either of the 5-color decks I currently have, but we'll see in time. Twinferno. Jaya and Joda working together. Interesting card. Let's see. Nema, Primal Warden. I think this is definitely a rehash of wow, the tree folk that has the kicker for X. I wish this one kind of did that too, but still might be a really interesting sapling build deck. And a foil Darius. And a forest. And a bird token. Back through this. So where am I at on her? So I have a non-foil. I'm gonna actually upgrade that to the foil for now, and hopefully work on it. Hopefully get a foil showcase. That's my current top goal for the, especially out of at least this stuff. Hexbane Tortoise, Branchbender, Splatter Goblin, Tide Turner, Herbalist, Bite Down, Phyrexian Ranger, Wooded Ridgeline, Lightning Strike, Smash to Dust, Gotia declares war. Hey, I actually don't know much about this one off the top of my head. I might have to look up the lore for that at some point. Nishoba Brawler, new Cat Warrior, power based on the types of lands you control. Work or Vortuck Bog Rattle. Interesting. Have to look at what she might do. Another Mindslinger, a mountain, and another Phyrexian token. And we are done for the last pack for this pre-release hit. There. And it looks like my webcam just turned off. One sec. Here the image should come back. Going on? Why are you off? One minute. Why is this thing off? Let's see if that does it, but it looks like it may have knocked my entire setup out of whack. Looks like it knocked a bunch of settings out of whack. There we go. I'll have to fix that up later better, but that should be good for now. I had to even adjust my fill light here. We're good. Hopefully this looks close to as good as the start of the stream. Okay. So back to the last pack of let me see if I can. Yeah, that's maybe a little better. I am casting a little bit of a shadow now, but I think it brings a little more light to this far side. I know this is still a little bright. Take up the shield. Flourishing vine. Flourishes Vine Wall. Fierce Bellows, Shady Prophecy, Haunting Filament, Charismatic Vanguard, Meteorite, which has been printed a lot. Magothi's Magnagoth Century. Field Wall. Tolarian Geyser. Weatherseed Treaty. Tail Swipes. Urg, Spawn of Turg. I think that one's hilarious. Archangel of Wrath. Stained Glass Plains. And an angel. Moving on to the next kit. Ivory, white ivory dye. Classic. A promo King Darien. That's a nice piece for my commander set. Getting to the first pack here. Llanowar Stalker. Just gets bigger as you play more creatures. Yavimaya Steel Crusher. Glad to see apes. Glad to see an ape back. Sacrifice Yavimaya, Steel Crush, or destroy target artifact. Very much built like a really nice classic card. Bone Splinters, Negate, Heroic Charge, Fury Soul Teller, Soul Tender, Drill of Possibility, Automatic Librarian, Flowstone Infusion, Inscribed Tablet, Hurler Cyclops, Braids Rightful Return. Ah, the new Braids. Interesting to see her back. Another Meredith. Or Mira. A foil Jaya's Tornado. Planes. That's actually, I actually kind of like that artwork just for the general planes. Ooh, Cat Warrior token. I actually really like that there's new Cat Warrior tokens, especially with something like Forest Walk. I thought a lot of these random walks were going to never show up again because I thought they got caught up in the whole magic complexity stuff. Shadow Prophecy, Haunting Figment, Charismatic Vanguard, Snare Spinner, Thrill of the Pit, or Enthrall to the Pit, Tattered Apparition, Century, Tribute to Urborg, Haunted Mine, Sprouting Goblin. When Sprouting Goblin enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, search your library for land card with a basic land type revealed and put into your hand. So, okay, that's interesting. That can be used and stuff. Here's one of the new defenders I really want to mess with. The Blight Pile. Each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of creatures with defender you control. Another Lore Master. The new Phoenix. It's a Phoenix chick. The baby Phoenix. Island and Soldier. Haunting Figment. Argavian. Argravan. Phalanx. Guy's Might, Keldon Strike Team, Battle Rage Blessing, Academy Wall, Meteorite, Century, Sentinel, Sky Knight, some large Sky Knights, Prayer of Binding, Petrova, Sphinx Sky Clearer. I think this is going to be, this is an interesting card. I think I know one person who's is probably going to put that in I believe a kind of a scry kind of deck. Forest and a filler. Colossal Growth is Fire NATO. I think I said Inferno earlier. Fire NATO. Gibbering Barricade. Hydral Turtle. Phalanx. Guy's Might. Sunbathing Rutwalla. New Rutwalla. Soaring Drake. Salvaged Mana Worker. It's interesting. I have a deck that I may put it in, but the thing that you can only activate it once a turn is such a downside. I almost wish it would said something like 2, but this ability costs 1 less for the first time you use it every turn. Linebreaker Baloth. Ooh, there we go. There's a new one. An upgrade to her. Pollution Forest. Plains, and a night token with the protection from red knights. Board grip, reposition, Valarian Terror, Burnished Banalian or Banalish Sleeper. Kind of have a, I don't think it's showing up on camera, but there's a bit of a, like a gloss spot on the card actually. Coalition Warbrute. Coalition cards are back, and that's, I find that's kind of interesting. Phyrexian Warhorse. I do really like all that we're seeing all this just random Phyrexian like flora and fauna. Tangled Islet. Coral Colony. Love Song. Pokemons. There's an Urborg Lagoif. Aeron. Foil. I don't think I have one of those. I don't think I have them in foil yet. Let's see. Nope. I do have them. Benalia's Ruin. Might actually sort these by like I mean, I do actually really like the regular artwork for him too. I think it's a really nice, fun artwork for him being a sleeper agent. Actually, now that I think about it, it would have been fun if they had like a Phyrexian kind of version of the showcase, and they did all the Phyrexians in that kind in a special showcase, like a corrupted version of the showcase we currently have. Letter Goblin, Time Turner, Herbalist, Phyrexian Warhorse, right? Tributary, Crystal Grotto, a new filter land. Phyrexian Vivisector, Weatherseed Treaty, Joda's Codex, Heroes Heirloom, Jana Purifying Blade. I don't think I've gotten one of her yet. Oh yeah, and she's a tricolor. She's one of the tricolors. And a plains and a bird token. And that was the end of the second release kit. Moving on to the third. Yeah, I think I just had might have just had my camera on the wrong setting, but I'll have to go back and set it up now in this setting. Another white die. So I've got two matching white die so far. Ooh, a pre-release promo phasing of Zephyr. That's definitely going to go in one of my decks at some point. On to the first pack. Negate, Hero Charge, Colossal Growth. Really funny artwork. Great Goblin artwork. Scratching his head why he's gigantic. Gibbering Barricade, Haunted Figment, Smash to Dust, Essence Scatter, Mesa Cavalier, Electrostatic Infantry. That's another one. Triggers on instance and sorcery spells. Might be interesting in the right type of deck. Might be a trick with it. Monstrous Warleech. Looks so crazy. Oh, and that I actually didn't notice when I saw this artwork earlier. Is that that's a Homerid writing it? That's interesting. Rada. Love Rada. Love every time she's printed. Adakar Waste. Such a good. That might be one of my favorite artworks for a land out of this set, just because that, like, to me, this is what Adakar Waste I think always should have looked like. A long stretch of just wet plain. That to me is beautiful, and I will love to get some of those probably in foil. Plains and ooh, a Jaya emblem. My first emblem. Splatter Goblin, Academy Wall, Stall for Time, Hexbane Tortoise, French Bender, Battle Rage, Bog Badger. More badgers in this set. Interesting creature type. Might have to mess with those if they ever print enough. Phyrexian Espionage, Twinferno, Warhost Frenzy. Keldons may be outnumbered, but they are never outmatched. The Keldon Barbarians. Always have loved the flavor of them. Alas, Ilkor, Sadistic Pilgrim. And my second Defiler. This one's the blue one this time. Under the right circumstances, again, I think they can be really messed with, and we'll have to see how people mess with them. Oil Splatter Goblin. Might go in a deck at some point. The regular Plains artwork that I really like. And another ad card. Tide Turner, Herbalist, Bite Down, Amplifier, Raving Necromass, Voda Sea Scavenger. Look at the top X cards, basic lands. You may put one of those cards on top of your library and put the rest on the bottom in the order. It's an index effect. I'm weird. I like actually running index in weird places. Like, look at the top 5 cards. If I'm remembering index correctly. It's been a while since I've had one in a deck. There's a regular Phoenix trick. Herloon, Battle Hymn. It's nice to have some more Minotaur stuff. Strength of the Coalition. A regular Mira. Mira Scholar. Always good to have extras. I can always put them in commander decks. And a soldier token. Branch Rider, Splatter Goblin, Tide Turner, Herbalist, Bite Down, Amplifier, Ridgeline, Lightning Strike, Lightning spell. Smash to dust. Mesa Cavalier. Hero's Heirloom. Valverian Berserker. I find it interesting that it is a core Berserker instead of a human Berserker. So the core of... I do like the idea that since the core were ousted from, I believe it was Wrath, during the original Phyrexian invasion on Dominaria, that they've kind of integrated into various societies across Dominaria, the core and the was I forget I think there was another species, wasn't there? Wraith Guardian, regular forest, and a soldier token. Second to last for this pack. Splatter Goblin, Academy Wall, Stall for Time, Hexblade Tortoise, Vagino Branch Rider, Battle Rage, Ridgeline, Citizen Arrest, Soul Tender, Thrill of Possibilities, Singer, Connoisseur, flying whenever one or more other creatures dies, put a +1/+1 counter on it, only once per turn. Interesting. Don't know if it's worth... It falls into like the realm of good vampires for Commander. Territorial Morrow. I don't know about this one. This one, because it's a 5 for what can essentially just be a 5/5. It's just a 5/5. It's not, it doesn't get trample. It's just kind of there. I don't think it's that great. Najila Stormrunner. Keladon Flame Sage. And the Enlist Shaman. I don't know much about that one. I think I need to look into how the text on that one actually reads. I like to brew really random, crazy stuff. I'm like the mad scientist of Magic. Like, for me, connected abilities on a card are like the bane of my existence. Keladon Strike Team, Battle Rage, Academy Wall, Stall for Time, Hexblade Tortoise, Branch Rider, Destroy Evil, Soul Tender, Citizen's Arrest, Urtai's Scorn, Fires of Victory. Those kick, draw a card, then it deals damage, number of cards in your hand. Oh, that could be interesting. I always kind of wanted to do maybe like a sudden impact sort of deck. So a deck that like punishes opponents for what they've got and gives you benefits for what you got. There we go. A Ajani Sleeper Agent. The completed Planeswalker. It's sad. It's really sad to me what's become of Ajani, but I think, yeah, he was a good one to pick. Less people suspected this was coming. I think it's a really interesting card, actually. We'll see what kind of combos people come up with it and stuff. I think the idea of completed could be even pushed even harder. They're kind of, I think, Wizards is being a bit lax with it. I think we could see easily see like a double completed Planeswalker or something. Maybe with a really high like final ability, so even if you do pay its full mana cost, you don't actually, you get really close to the ultimate, but you don't always get it. Another foil Anointed Peacekeeper, regular forest, and another bird token. And that was the last pack for the third pre-release kit. Now we're on to the last pre-release kit. And then I still got 2 boxes. And Shadow Rite Priest. Got the Cleric Lord. And another white die. And let's start on the first pack. Academy Wall, Stall for Time, Hexblade Tortoise, or Hexbane Tortoise, Branch Strider, Battle Rage, Tide Turner, Citizen's Arrest, Wooded Ridge Line, Mesa Cavalier, Smash to Dust, Twinferno, Fires of Victory, Urg Spawn of Turg, already got one, the Red Defiler. Again, I think all these Defilers will each have their own innocence or interesting place, but I like that this one's a Phyrexian Kavu. I think that's really, it's fun to bring that, mash these two, mash Phyrexians into like some of the more classic races, just to give us a few more cards of races we don't normally get. Let's see. Charismatic Vanguard, Snare Spinner, Enthrall to the Pit, Tattered Apparition, Tidepool Turtle, Artillery Blast. Artillery Blast deals number to target tapped creature, where X is 1 plus the number of basic land types you control. Maybe. I'd have to think about that a lot. Tribute to Urborg. Haunted Mire, Flowstone Kavu. Another Kavu. Always nice to see more Kavu. Tangled Islet, Inscribed Tablet, Strength of the Coalition, Tail Swipe. Ooh, Braids Arisen Nightmare. The new Braids. Oh, I don't know. I might have to make a Braids deck at some point. Mountain and a Treasure. Enthrall to the Pit, Tattered Apparition, Talus Lookout. It's a pirate. Dies, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. It is 4 for a 3/2. Llanowar Stalker, Yavimaya Steel Crusher, Flowstone Kavu, F Flame Worm. I mean, worms are always fun. I used to have a friend that collected just worms. Vanquisher's Axe, Argovian Cavalier, Combat Research, the new Curiosity, or yeah, interesting. Phyrexian Missionary. Lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kick, return target card, creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That I think that's got to be pretty much an auto include in Black-White Cleric. Area Nat. Ooh, this is where another one where I think the defilers get really interesting is the white one. Personally, the white and the green. Island and oh yeah, the Ornithopter token. That actually might be one of the rare tokens to find in this set. Checking if I got Nail already. Nope, I don't see her. So she's going on the stack. Burnished Faith Bonder. New enlist mechanic. Deathbloom Gardener. I think that's just an interesting take on mana dorks. More death touch elves. Interesting concept. Volition Warbrute. Extinguish the light. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. If its value is 3 or less, gain 3 life. Timely interference. Interesting. Sunbathing Root Walla, Radiance Grove, Soaring Drake, Mana Worker, Cleaving Skyrider, Frostfist Strider, Volda. Ooh, Thran Portal. Thran Portal is interesting. I really want to kind of play around with what you can do with Thran Portal in certain decks. And it being a gate. A regular foil Urg, Son of Turg. That switched out. Or I guess it's Urg, Spawn of Turg. I was saying Sun. Molten Monstrosity, a new Hellion. I think some sort of like Hellion commander that actually was good would be interesting. Banefly Swarm, Pixie Illusionist, Griffin Protector, very classic kind of Griffin card. Vine Shaper Prodigy. When kicked, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest in the bottom of any of your library in any order. And decent. Shore Up, Sunbathing, Weatherseed Treaty, False Swipes, Braids, Fateful Return, a regular King Darian, Foil Timely Interference, a Mountain, and a Ad. The last pack of the pre-release kits. Faith Bonder, Deathbloom Gardener, Coalition Warbrute, Extinguish the Light, Timely Interference, Banalish Sleeper, Captain's Call, Sacred Peaks, Phyrexian Vivisector, Pilfer. I love this really struck me when I realized it was a Tiny Bones card. It's funny to see Tiny Bones back. Queen. Ooh, there we go. Liliana of the Veil. New Liliana. Gonna be another. It's just another good Liliana. And the new Soul Canar painted. Oh, Badger. Badger card. I find that funny that that's actually listed as a commander token, but you can get it in regular draft boosters. But again, I'd like to see people get tokens for stuff rather than not get tokens for stuff. Okay. So now I'm going to move over to the set booster. Let's get to it. Return to where it all began, because Dominaria had so much of Magic's history. So personally, a little background on me. I've been playing since Planescape, Prophecy kind of area. I was like 10 years old and playing that at school. I got one of the Prophecy precons. I believe there's a precon for Prophecy with an Avatar of Might. And that Avatar of Might was my first rare for the longest time. I also remember opening a pack of Ice Age from a small shop that was very far away from me because I lived in a pretty rural area as a kid. But they had Ice Age, and I was able to get a pack, and I remember opening a Zurin Orb out of it, and I put that in like every casual deck I had as a kid. Whenever it came down to it, I would take the risk and sack all my lands. I'm going to set a few of these pack boosters off to the side here, or these set boosters. I'll bring them in as we go through them. We all want to start with it. I want to start with it. You guys probably want to start with it. Let's start with the box topper. Oh, I always hate that they're so glued down. Oh, this one's really glued down. Nice art pieces from the insert. I always like it when they actually put nice stuff on the extra pieces. But it is not nice when the glue rips it apart. You can see that the card's down there. I'm actually going to cut this open. Because again, there's only one, since there's only one card in here, you risk bending it so much more. Opening it just going at it the regular way. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's a Ramirez. Yeah, it's a Ramirez. Okay, let's start on our set boosters. Oh, that's the swamp artwork with the... Is that the I guess that's the corrupted Weatherlight. It looks... The corrupted Weatherlight looks a lot like the Predator airship. Swamp. Urborg. Toxic Abomination. Bog Badger. Mimeomancer, or Micromancer, Combat Research, Votug declares war, Rolk Mons, which I want to see if I've got another one of him. I know I have only the regular one of Rivaz the Claw. A Phyrexian Devastator. I like that it's a Hydra Dragon. It's kind of a fun mix of creature types. Foil Bone Splinters. Always nice to have Foil Bone Splinters. And an ad card. Okay, I already had the Pokemons in there in the showcase ones. Oh, there's so Sleeping Skyrider. But that's one thing I really want. The foil stained glass lands I think look really good. Hellion, Battle Rage, Furious Bellow, Coalition Warbrute, Century, Love Song. Oh, there's a regular foil Cat Warrior token. Knight of Duck's Shadow, one of the new knights. Oh, got actually both knights back to back. The white one and the black one. Another Urg, and the Elder Dragon War. I can't believe they actually went through the trouble of commissioning the wood carving for the actual wood carving for this. But it looks so good. Okay. Well, I just went through for looking for him, so oh, looks like we got a list card back. The Phyrexian Priest. I can't wait to see Elish Norn's faction once we get to the actual Phyrexia set. I always loved how creepy the porcelain is. First Island. Herbalist. Deathbloom Gardener. Shouting Goblin. Hurler Cyclops. Fog Rattle. Pilfer. Desecrator, Aaron, and Darius, or Darren, Haunting Figment. Ooh, Demon of Death's Gate. Not great. I mean, it's a decent demon, but I don't know anyone that really plays it that much. The Bone Splinter art card. Womp. Fight Down, Molten Monstrosity, Battle Rage, Furious Bellow, Coalition Warbrute, Battle Wing Mystic, a new bird wizard, Balmor, Battle Mage Champion, or Captain, Love Song, Rona, another Flame Sage, a foil Yavimaya Iconoclast, and a minigame add card. Don't think I've gotten one of it. Did I already get a Balmor? Don't think I have. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in. I believe that's the captain. Or Sleeping Scourge. Or Sleeper's Scourge. A little bit miscut. Forest. Snare Spinner. Sojourner. So this can become a 3 mana 4/6. Interesting. Vine Shaper Prodigy, Juniper Order Root Weaver, Inscribed Tablet, Frost Fist Strider, Mossbeard Ancient. Beef up that gets you life. Steward of the Tides. Ooh, Zur. Zur. Love to see Zur back. Oh, and there's Dantha. There's 2 more. Goes down here for now. And a foil Furious Blows. Ooh, sapling token. I do like the purple mushroom sapling. Funky purple mushroom. I know don't have that any of her yet. Or them. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, I do already have a teacher. I'm gonna move some of this bulk off, or the commons and uncommons off. I got more room for them. Oh, there we go. An art card for the Adakar Waste. Foil Plains. Mana Salvage Mana Worker, Guy's Might, Barkweave Crusher, Radiant Grow, Take Up the Shield. I don't think we've had a Tori yet. Choking Miasma. If this spell is kicked, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control, and then everything gets -2/2. Territorial Marrow. Don't think I've had one of those yet. Another Shadowrite Priest. A foil Lightning Strike. And ooh, a Power Stone token. Power Stones. I think those are going to be fun to mess with. Here we go. A stamped art card. This is the Amplifier. Regular planes. Ridgeline, Amplifier, Impulse, Stalker, Urg, Runic Shot, Micromancer, The last Ilkor. Ragefire Hellkite. When it attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, it gains double strike. It eats its friends for double strike. Academy Lore Master. And a rather off-center cut. Radurabic of Urborg. Like that's pretty one-sided miscut, but not enough to be like special. But that'll be nice to have in my as a commander card. And a Phyrexian token. I think I have one of the last Ilkor already. Don't think he's in there. Yep, already got one of him. That card at the end. Got another Jaya art card. Mountain stained glass. Regular, not foil. Tangled Islet, Herbalist, Soul Tender, Black Knight, White Knight, Fury Rider, Choking Miasma, Marrow, Nariel. Joda. We got a Joda. The new Joda is really interesting. Like legendary tribal. Some of my stuff sliding out of frame there. Foil Joint Expedition and a Lunarch Avenger from Fifth Dawn. That's a throwback of a card. That's old Sunburst. Oh, that takes me back. Fifth Dawn as a child was my first pre-release I got to go to in the big city in my state. Had to go all the way downtown in the big city and got to play Fifth Dawn. Even to this day, I have a crazy love for weird artifact stuff. And original Mirrodin, as much as people hated it, it was my first favorite set. Really, I loved all of it. I especially loved all the charge counter stuff. What was even better was in the pre-release tournament against somebody, I actually got I didn't win the round, but I got as a child I got off a door to nothingness against somebody in a sealed tournament. And not only that was the way ours was done, during the tournament, they would pick a random round, and they'd go around and put a pack of the set, so Fifth Dawn, so a free pack of Fifth Dawn on the table, and whoever won that match, it didn't matter who won the round, whoever won the match that when the pack was laid on the table got that pack. And I got my pack with a door to nothingness win in Fifth Dawn, early sealed as a child. Let's see. Rafe art card. Phalanx, Lookout, Branch Rider, Sunlit Marsh, Founding the Third Path. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value 1 or 2 from your hand without paying its mana cost. Target player mills 4 cards, exile target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard, copy it, you may cast the copy. It's got its places. I personally am not a fan of limiting, especially in Commander, the amount of cards you have to pull back, but I know people do. I'm weird when it comes to certain mechanics. The Relic of Legends. Coalition Relic counterpart. I kind of wish it was just a new type of Coalition Relic. But 3 for mana rock that then you can tap legendaries to add more mana. Wraith. Ooh. Najeel. Don't remember if got a Blood Fist or Garrun yet. Veteran. Repossession. Soldier token. Runner. Nope. These both go in this pile. What is the list? It's not this card, because this is not a list card. Oh yeah, there's the Benalia Sleeper art card. Scavenged Mana Worker, Century, Gaia's Might, Connoisseur, Codex, Cut Down, destroy target creature with total power and toughness 5 or less. I think interesting new versions of mechanics. So this can cut down like a 2/3, a 2/2, anything like under 3/2 or 2/3, or some combination of 5. Bavarian Atrocity, Phyrexian Missionary, Rada, Lum Speaker, regular Lum Speaker, Sunbathing Root Wallowfoil, and a Sapling. That is about a third of the set booster box down. Now we're on to the next third. Oh, Hazon. Hazon art card. Foil Forest. Deathbloom Gardener, Ridgeline, Amplifier, Impulse, Combat Research, Declares War, Inscribed Tablet, Zaro Janin, Najal, Rizza, Foil Valiant Veteran, and a Sand Warrior token. Oops. Would have been a great pack to actually have the Hazon in. Or, yeah, I think it's Hazon that makes the Sand Warrior token. Oh. Another list card. Furious Bellow art card. Stained Glass Swamp. Hammerhand, Aggressive Sabotage. Target player discards 2 cards. If this spell was kicked, deal 3 damage to that player. Real Possibility, Connoisseur, Codex, Cut Down. Wingmantle Chaplain. When Wingmantle Chaplain enters the battlefield, create a word token with flying for each creature with Defender you control. Whenever another creature with Defender enters the battlefield under your control, create a bird token. Might go in my Defender deck. Wraith, Weatherlight, Stalwart. I don't think I have that one yet. Green Defiler. There, I think I've actually opened one of each Defiler so far. That's going to be fun to mess with. A Foil Boruk or Bortuk Battle Rattle, and a Hall of the Bandit Lord for my list card. Kinda sucks because I just got some of the secret layer. Wraith. The Sting class Joyra art card. Mesa Cavalier, Phyrexian Warhorse, Cavalier. Oh, different types of Cavaliers, huh? Oh, I didn't notice that the Argavian Cavalier is actually an orc. That's interesting. Heroic Charge. Peladon Strike Team, Braid's Fateful Return, Monstrous Warleech, Hero's Heirloom, Zar Ojanen. Ooh, there we go. Golden Arksea. That's gonna be interesting to mess with in like a vehicle deck. Foil Strength of the Coalition, and another minigame filler card. Another regular Amplifier art card. Plains. Barkweave Crusher. Enlist Elemental. Take up the shield. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Gains life link and indestructible until end of turn. That's pretty decent. I think under the right circumstances that can be annoying. Cult Conscript. Enters the battlefield, tap, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only if a non-skeleton creature died this turn under your control. Returner card. Lagomos. I don't know if I got one of him yet. Ooh, Stern, Paranoid Partisan. The one that may or may not have, like, Arn creeping up on him. That's kind of fun. Aether Chandler. Enters the battlefield, make a bird token, return target non-land permanents to its owner's hand, or draw a card. Foil Phyrexian Ravager, and an ad. Oh, there's I got a different one. Already got one. Definitely getting a lot of them legendaries. The Walking Bulwark art card. Foil Swamp. Llanowar Stalker, Phalanx, Lookout, Branch Rider, Sunlit Marsh, Frost Rider, Frostfist Strider, Ancient, Third Path, Sadistic Pilgrim, Jaya, got a Jaya. So sad. So sad. And a Phyrexian token. Another list card. Dalmor art card. Swamp. Swamp. Splatter Goblin. Colossal Growth. Goblin Picker. I think it could have been a Goblin Artificer. I'd given us another Goblin Artificer. Vanquisher's Axe, Strength of the Coalition, Acolyte, per Binding, Rada, Rona, Mindslinger, Foil, Elder Dragon War. I always love it when I get a Foil Saga. Because something about the vertical art and the foiling just, I think, looks really good. And a Skullwinder. Is that only printed in Commander? Enters the battlefield, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Then choose an opponent. That player returns a card from their graveyard to their hand. Snake. Interesting. Oh, I accidentally put the Hall of the Bandit Lord up here. Yep. Okay. Those will go in my list box. Yeah, I know I'm still getting a little bit of glare there in the middle. I'll have to fix around my my lighting for the next time. Oh, I think this is the Joda art card for the stained glass. Yeah. Island, Captain's Call, Scout Awareness, Worm, Exploration, Forces, Blood Fist, Warhost's Frenzy, regular Rada, another Ballard, Evolved Sleeper, ooh, the new leveler card. A foiled Deathbloom Gardener and a mini. Ivy art card. Cavalier, Warhorse, Cavalier. Got both those Cavaliers again. Scorn, Desecrator, Hydromancer. Enters the battlefield if it was kit, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. That's going to probably make its way into some deck of mine at some point. Ooh, there we go. Worm Speaker. Jetson. Cartholon. Another 5-color commander. Another red Defiler. A foil Walking Bulwark. Yep, if that's going in my commander deck, that's definitely the one's going in. Soldier. Got one more pack after this one, and this third. There's another. Ooh, stamped Bulwark. Island. Vanguard, Essence Scatter, Vivisector, Relic of Legend, Wraith, Raids Fight for Return, Monstrous Warleash, Heirloom, Queen, Silver Scrutiny. You may cast Silver Scrutiny as though it had flash if X is 3 or less. Draw X cards. Interesting little sorcery. Scout the Wilderness, foil. And an Empress Galana. Don't know if I have an Empress in my commander collection. I might have to set this off to the side. Maybe I'll set it there for now. I just don't want to mix it in because I know I don't have any of these in my commander collection yet, and it makes it just easier to sort. Any cards I think I may have copies of, I always sort kind of in their own file. I might actually need to get some more copies of her. There's a deck that I might want to actually put her in. The art card for the White Knight. Royal Forest. And aggressive sabotage, throw possibility, splatter goblin, cleaving skyrider, tear asunder, exile target artifact or enchantment. If this spell is kicked, exile target non-land permanent instead. I think that's a decent card. Tail swipe, Rolk, Aaron, another Adhikar Waste, foiled colossal growth, and a soldier token. Now I've moved my files around. Now we are on to the last third of the set booster. Phalanx art card. Foil Stained Glass Land, or Forest Stained Glass. Heroic Charge, Strike Team, Captain's Call, Scout the Wilderness, Worm, Walking Bulwark, Childred's Restoration. Very interesting. Rona, Vortuk, Archangel of Wrath, Foil Balmor, Soldier Token. Let's see. The art card for Destroy Evil. Miscut Forest. Still Crusher. Outrider. Deals damage to each opponent equal to the number of basic lands among land types you control. Okay, 5 for a 4/4 elf archer that when it enters the battlefield it does some damage based on bit land types. Yeah, that could be an interesting, just like repeatable bounce target. Djinn of the Fountain. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it acts as prowess, or exile and return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of end step, or scry 1. 6 for a 4/4. If mana cost is the thing that really holds it back. Ori, Wraith, Urg, Solkanar the Tainted. I think we already have one. Another foil Phoenix chick. Dominaria. In ancient Dominaria, Urza, Sarah, and many others played Dominarios to pass the time. Connect cards in the most condensed way possible. Open a pack, remove the basic lands, tokens, and add cards. Place a card face up on the game table. Start a play. To win, the game ends when all cards can't be connected. Tops to tops. What's that? Matching mana value. Matching card type. Bottoms to bottoms. That's kind of a weird dominoes kind of thing. Steel Crusher. Yeah, we already saw those. Tori. Okay, yeah, I got the foil Soul Canar. That's what it was. Opening too much stuff, forgetting what I've opened. Iridian Maelstrom. I think I've seen that card yet. Phyrexian Ranger, Phyrexian Espionage, Geothermal Bog, Flowstone Infusion, Sleeper, Joint Exploration, Joined Forces, Blood Fist, Steward of the Tides, Leaf Crown Visionary. There's one of the elf lords, and a foil Flowstone Kavu, and a list card. Oh, Naginata. So like we had what was it? Mirrodin. Was it? I forget. It was 8th edition Mirrodin Kamigawa Ravnica, if I'm remembering correctly. I actually despised the original Kamigawa. I was not a fan of the flavor of it at the time. It took me actually a couple years before I actually decided I liked the samurai mechanic, which I'm sad that they didn't bring back. The new Kamigawa, or at least something they could have added to the whole like Bushido concept. Valarian Terror. Colossal Growth, Goblin Picker, Vanquisher's Axe, Steel Crusher, Outrider, Baloth, Iconoclast, Queen, Balmor, Battle Captain, Stronghold Arena, the new arena. Gain 3 life for each time it was kicked. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you may reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. If you do, lose life equal to its mana value. Pretty decent. Ornithopter token and a foil Goblin Picker. Aaron art card. Ooh, foil Swamp. Charismatic Vanguard, new dwarf. Essence Scatter, Vivisector, Ranger. Rona's Vortex. Kicker, return target creature or planeswalker you don't control to its owner's hand. If the spell was kicked, put that on permanent on the bottom of its owner's library instead. Sadistic Pilgrim, Berserker, Arionaut, Urtai Resurrected, Showcase. Kind of hilarious to see the 4-armed guy back. Another Thran Portal, a foil Shield Wall Sentinel, and another ad card. Well, minigame card, but ad card. That's the Nagio. The planes I like. Which I actually wonder, is that the Thran portal in the background? Artillery blast, smash to dust, shield wall sentinel, gibbering barricade, fluorescent Floriferous vine wall, bulwark, blight pile, wingmantled chaplain, blood fist, another a second white defiler, a foil Tory, and ooh, finally a zombie token. Again, it's a commander zombie token. Interesting. This card on the back. Battlewing Mystic, Mountain, Gate, Citizen's Arrest, Haunting Figment, Warhost Frenzy, Rada, Bulwark, Shieldred's Restoration, Rona, Queen, another Urborg Logoif, a foil inscribed tablet, and a Argyle, Kindly Runed Chanter, the magic version of one of the Stranger Things Secret Lair cards. I know I already have a bunch of these. That's... I don't even want to put it in my rare pile because I know I already got too many of those. That's going to go somewhere else and be sorted into my bulk trade or my personal stash. What one's this one? Oh, the Vortex. Rona's Vortex. Mountain. Phyrexian Espionage. Geothermal Bog. Flowstone Infusion. Sleeper, Treaty, Resolute Reinforcements, Flash Human Soldier. When it enters the battlefield, create another human soldier. So it's two for two with Flash, but it's two different bodies. Protect the Negotiators. If the spell is kicked, create a 1/1 white soldier token. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1 for each creature you control. Interesting. Counterspell. Tura. Rada's Fire Brand. Kind of sad it wasn't just like a red elf. Because it's part of Rada's ban. Academy Wall, foil, soldier token. I think I already have one of these. Yep, already have a Tura. And down to the last 2 packs of the set booster. Winferno. What is the artwork on that card? Is that Karn or a Beast of Burden? I'd have, or the thing that Urza made before Karn. Impeded Momentum. Tap target creature, put stun counters. I think we already talked about that one. Dragon Whelp. Another small dragon card. Slimefoot Survey. Domain land, electrostatic infantry, bone rattle, Tori. Ooh, Vesuvian Duplicity. This is a card I wanted a bunch of. Whenever you cast a spell that targets only a single artifact or creature you control, create a token that's a copy of that creature or that artifact or creature, except it's not legendary. So I've got 3 or 4 decks that goes in. Shore Up, foil, and a soldier token. Final pack of the set booster. Stamped Balmore. Art card, island. Sacred Peaks, Artillery Blast, Smash to Dust, Strength of the Coalition, Shayla's Acolyte, the angel that's got the green kicker that gets it +2 +1/+1 counters. Prayer of Binding, Cleaving Skyrider, Arid, Cosmic Epiphany. I think you already saw that last one. That's going to be really nice. Cosmic Epiphany, sorcery. Draw cards equal to the number of instant sorcery cards in your graveyard. Great in the right type of deck. Or that's a rare. Another Braids and I'm so happy about that. A showcase Phyrexian showcase card. This is what I was saying. I almost feel like some of they could have done a special Phyrexian showcase for all the Phyrexians in the set, or at least a good number of the legends. But showcase Shieldred the Apocalypse foil. That is nice. That's going in my commander collection. That's a nice one. Soldier token. And that's that for the set booster. That was I think a perfect end to the set booster. The Shieldred. I have been lucky enough to open one of each of the Phyrexians so far in various forms. I think I have a non-foil showcase Vorinclex. I know it's a non-showcase Jinkataxis. I don't remember if it's foil or not. And then I forget if I got an Urabrask yet. And again, I can't wait for Elish Norn. The porcelain, the Phyrexian porcelain is just, it's something that like I find so creepy but so like morbidly fascinating at the same time. So I also picked up a box of Dominaria United jumpstart boosters that I want to open up. I know these are fun to play with, but I do like opening up and see what they chose to put in various decks. Because I also am working on some commander deck ideas where you could do like a jumpstart, kind of what they did with the unset where it came in like half decks, or the game nights. Do like pickup decks for commander. Mix and match to defend Dominaria. How to use mix and match, how to use jumpstart. It's pretty much open 2 packs and mix them together. I don't think I would mind if they started doing a jumpstart for every like, as long as they make sure they print a ton of it is the issue. I'm gonna split this one in probably a little more than half. These are pretty big packs because they are like What are they? 20 card half decks. Let's open our first jumpstart booster. I have not looked into what's being put in this product at all. So I'm really excited to actually jump into this and look at what we got. So, unlike before, they didn't do the inner plastic sleeve. It's just the it's just a thick outer foil sleeve. And our first deck is Ready to Charge. The mono red deck. Electrostatic Infantry, Steel Crusher, Berserker, Dragonweld, Coalition Warbrute, Molten Monstrosity, Flowstone, Twinferno, Jao's Inferno, Furious Bellow, Elder Dragon War, Ragefire Hellkite, a stained glass card, and 5 regular mountains and 2 foil mountains. Interesting. See what our second pull is. Coalition Legion. So mono white. Coalition. Oh, that's interesting. They printed them with the magic backgrounds or backs. I always find it funny when they print a like throwaway card or like a token with a magic back. I wonder if these are actually the thinner cardstock. Herbalist, Faith Bonder, Knight of Dawn's Light, Cavalier, Vanguard, Protector, Take Up the Shield, Prayer, Join Forces, Love Song, Sarah Redeemer, the new Sarah Angel. I do like that it's the angels are now getting more job classes. I usually talk about these as being creature race type and job type. So you normally see like a race and a job, or if there's something special going on, you'll see 2 races or sometimes 2 jobs. But that's how I've always categorized like creature types. Does it fall into the race category, or does it, or I should say, yeah, magic race or species, or does it fall into the job type, kind of the what the creature does? Veteran. So I'm guessing this is the special artwork land for the Coalition. That's interesting. There's my planes I like. A stained glass. Or are those just regular? I guess there isn't a special. 263, 262, 264. No, I guess there isn't a special for these. That's interesting. Foil of the one I like, and this one's actually really good looking too. These might be some of my 2 favorite planes besides like the salt flats out of original Time Spiral. But those are super hard to get foils of. On to the third one here. Coalition Corpse, another mono white. The Drawbridge. We didn't see this in any of my other packs. The Defender that can tap a creature, but it's also an artifact. It's a 0/3 for 1. Resolute Reinforcements, Cavalier, Charismatic Vanguard. Another Dwarf Soldier. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. That could be interesting, and especially a activated ability cost reduction deck. Captain's Call, Griffin Protector, Phalanx, Prayer of Binding, Join Forces, Love Song, another Sierra's Redeemer, and a Sarah Paragon. Once during each turn, you may play a land card from your graveyard or cast a permanent spell with mana value 3 or less. If you do, when this permanent is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, exile and you gain 2 life. That's interesting. You actually get a benefit from when it actually gets exiled. Monster territory. We're getting into one of my favorite colors, green. Vine Wall, Root Wall, Weatherseed Treaty, Sentry, Morrow, Brawler, Sojourner. Yeah, we already talked about that. Guy's Might, Climb Food Survey, Bite Down, Beast Caller. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Beast Caller. When it dies, distribute the +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on it. I kind of find that interesting at how that's worded. It's not that it moves the counters from the Beast Caller, it's that it counts the number of counters on Beast Caller. Then you can distribute them among any target number of creatures. Briar Hydra. A Hydra that comes in with X +1/+1 counters, where X is the number of land types you control. 6 for 6/6 trample. I mean, it's 5 for 7/7 trample, unless somehow you don't have any basic land. And yep, okay, so this is definitely one where they gave you some extra land type lands. Forest, this one. Yep, they definitely filled this with extra land type lands. There's 3 different ones that have all different land types. Interesting forest artworks, foiled. Get another 4 jumpstart packs here. Beast Territory, another green deck. Vine Wall, Root Wall, Gardener. Sentry, Morrow, Baloth, Ancient, Bite Down, Broken Wings, Survey, Green Defiler, and another Hydra. So, Defiler Hydra. A lot more dual tap lands. Forest, and another 2 foil. So these are okay. So that's something definitely about this product. It is only cards from the set, which is interesting. I think it kind of stunts the diversity of the decks, but it's a choice they made. Ready to Attack, another red deck. Phoenix Chick, Infantry, Picker, Kavu, Dragonwell, Warbrute, Hammerhand, Lightning Strike, Fire NATO, Twinferno, Red Defiler, Ragefire Hellkite. Definitely getting Defilers out of these. And 2 foils. Total Ruthless, black deck. Corrupt Conscript, Phyrexian Vivisector, Splatter Goblin, Ranger, Gibbering Barricade, Connoisseur, Bone Splinter, Cast Down, Battle Rage Blessing, Braids Frightful Return. Braids? and the Tyrannical Pit Lord. Let's see, 6 for a 6/6 flying trample. Enters the battlefield, choose a creature you control. The chosen creature gets +3/+3 and has flying, and when it leaves the battlefield, sacrifice the chosen creature. So it buffs something else. Swamp, 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 swamp. Stained glass, swamp, swamp, foil swamps. That's not a bad foil. This more purpley artwork. Okay, there we go. A blue deck. Arcane Mischief. Haunting Figment, Soaring Drake, Academy Wall, Palace Lookout, Frost Strider, Gin of the Fountain, Impulse, Shore Up, Combat Research, Impede Movement, a Cosmic Epiphany, and a Academy Lore Master. Island. All the different islands of the set. And the 2 foils. I mean, dark and light artworks, foil, they're always nice. When you kind of are looking for flavors. Another Coalition Legion. So let's see, are they mixing up the cards or just Faith Bonder? I think this is the same. Vanguard, Protector, Take Up the Shield, Binding, Join Forces, Love Song, Redeemer. Nope, Anointed Peacekeeper. Okay, so they at least change out some of the rares. That's kind of the same as last time. The lands. I'd actually get a good amount of my new favorite foil planes there. I'd actually have those for a deck. And here's another Coalition Corpse. Pretty similar. Redeemer and then a White Defiler. And we get the lands again. And another one of the ones I like. Haven't seen a Planeswalker one yet. Oh, another monster territory. Herd Migration. Sorcery, domain for 3/3 beasts. So you get a bunch of beasts. Discard it, search your library for a basic land. Okay, so this is the one that if you want to search for a land, you can discard it and you gain 3 life, or you can make beasts equal to the number of your domain. Domain count. Basic land, okay. Yeah, it only gets you basic land. A Briar Hydra. And because I think this is because the Hydra's in the deck or in the pack, you get a bunch of the other tap lands that have basic land types. Get your domain up. Well, I guess it could also be because the Herd Migration domain is also in there. 2 more of the foil forests. Okay, new deck. Mystic Mischief. Colony. Soaring Drake. Academy Wall. Taos Lookout. Valarian Terror. Strider. Impulse. Impede movement, Urtai Scorn, Founding the Third Path, Epiphany, and Phasing. Phasing of Zephyr. Island. Various island artworks, and the two pretty good island artworks foiled again. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down to the last 6. These are the last 6 Kickstarters. So I don't know this. I'm glad that the incentive to open these are a lot less, I think. These are a lot less likely to just be bought to be cracked like I'm doing here, which I think is what Magic really needed to do with these. They needed to make these less like just open and ripped. I think they are at a good, so far from what I've seen, I think these are all these Kickstarter decks are at a good power level to be fun to just pick up and play. Might be fun just to keep like a I don't know what I would want to call it you might call it a cube, but like I think it would be a fun idea to have a Kickstarter or Kickstart like collection where you could just have friends come up and pick 2 decks and play. Fine Wall, Rootwalla, Gardener, Sentry, Morrow, Baloth, Ancient, Bite Down, Broken Wing, Slimefoot Survey, Speaker, and another Hydra. And again, Domain. It seems like the green deck gets the Domain every time. Maybe most of the green rares have Domain. Maybe that's just the way that they're using is just the way it's coming out. But I think green has been the only Domain decks we've seen out of these Kickstarts. Again. So yeah, I think this is an interesting product. Unless I want to buy some to play with friends, I don't think I'm actually, like I said, I think this is the correct power level for these. They don't seem to come with anything too crazy so far. Maybe there's a rare like 1-in-a-box deck that's going to be sought after, but like these are pretty standard rares that we're seeing every time, I think. Which is good. That's what Wizards of the Coast, I think. I know they'd want to sell more cards, but to make this a viable product for what it is created as, it can't have like super good cards every single time. Limiting them to all non-foils, ready for attack, Chick, Infantry Picker, Kavu, well, Warbrute, Hammerhand, Lightning Strike, Fire NATO, Twin Inferno, Flame Sage, Ragefire. These are a decent power level, so they won't just fly off the shelf like everyone looking for the Phyrexian Kickstart pack or Jumpstart pack. Kickstart. I think they probably did still do a Planeswalker ones, but they're probably really rare. Total Ruthlessness. Conscript, Vivisector, Goblin, Ranger, Barricade, Connoisseur, Bone Splinter, Cutdown, Battle Rage, Rightful Return, Evolved Sleeper Agent, and Pit Lord. Or Evolved Sleeper. If Evolved Sleeper was worth a lot. I don't know how it's going to fare over time. I think that's probably the best swamp out of the set. I think I'm going to pick that as my best swamp, or as the best swamp. Two more after this. Arcane Mischief. I guess It will be always nice what other people think of this product. Lookout, Frost Strider, Fountain, Impulse, Shore Up, Combat Research, Impede Movement, Cosmic Epiphany, a Blue Defiler. Here we go, more Defilers. Island. I mean, if you want non-foil Defilers, these, at least my box seems pretty full of them. Total merciless. Totally merciless. Black Knight, Vivisector, Soul Tender, Ranger, Connoisseur, Writhing Necromance, Blessing, Pilfer, Frightful Return, Extinguish the Light. Okay, so there's there's Shieldred. So, yep, Shieldred and the Pit Lord. So Shieldred at least can show up in one of the rare slots of the black decks. And the last one. So I'm positive that if they're doing what I think they're doing, she is not a guarantee in that deck. But they've also made it so you can't just open the decks and then keep them sealed. Mystic Mischief. Colony, Drake, Wall, Lookout, Terror, Strider, Impulse, Impede Momentum, Scorn, Third Path, Epiphany, and the Gen. Island. That's that. A lot of interesting cards. Be interesting to sort this all out and add it to my collection. I have been debating starting to do sorting streams where I just sort and chat on stream about cards I'm sorting or what anyone might want to talk about. Art cards, very interesting. I don't think there's any art cards that specifically I'm going to use. A Timeless Lotus may have been interesting. I sometimes use art cards as proxies in commander decks if they look pretty good, or at least easy to, like, very distinguishable, like the Timeless Lotus. Got a few interesting list cards on the commons and uncommon side. Shieldred, oh. I'm actually pretty happy with the foil cards to add to my commander collection, both showcase and not, or special or not. We'll have to see once I get into into some of the collector's boosters. I know I'm at least going to buy a couple boxes, and I will share those on a stream. So we'll see when we get to that. And that's one reason why I'm not adding these to my commander collection just yet. I'm going to set these aside, and when I go through my collector's boxes, I'll go through these again and double check. Well, actually, I should just the shield. Okay, these ones I'm going to sleeve right now because I know no way I'm going to get something better than this. I'd rather have this Shieldred than the foil Phyrexian one. So this is the Shieldred I want for my commander collection. I'm going to put her in my commander collection. Same with these other commanders. There's nothing really better than them. So I might sleeve those up before this. Various foils. Some might make it into decks. Basic lands, I always set those aside unless there's certain ones I want. This is something I just keep set aside. When I get a chance, I sell sell these to shops for really cheap that need them, basic lands, or sometimes I just hand out a huge stack of them, randomized basic lands to new players. Like anything to just help them build decks and test stuff out new ways. These I'm definitely keeping. Like these will probably go. Some of these will go in a deck at some point. They just look. I think they look great, and I only got so many of the Theros ones, so eventually I'm gonna run out of those. Foil lands I keep just in case I ever want to build something with them, especially with some of the artworks I've seen in this set. I definitely am probably going to come back to these, which is rare. I normally don't use the foil lands, the regular foil lands from a set. I'm an old enough collector that I have various collections of special lands from all over Magic history that I don't normally come back to the foils of a new set unless there is a artwork I specifically like. And I actually think there's actually a few artworks in this set, and with the like Kickstarter box really filling out my or jumpstart kickstart. I'm gonna keep mixing that up, I'm for sure. With every jumpstart pack coming with 2 of the foils, I think that really helps you get a lot of the foil artwork that you want. Only very few of these, so these are going to be harder to come by if you don't buy collector's boosters, I think. That's interesting. We're going to see a low amount of full art stained glass lands. That's kind of worrying. I know people like to have their low runs of stuff, like to have their exclusives, but I actually like it when there's more of these to go, when there's more stuff to go. I'd rather everyone got a Shieldred or something. I don't think we should really worry. The secondary market should not drive prices like it does. Personally, I'd rather lose thousands of dollars in my collection and have cards reprinted so everyone could play, because that's the point at the end of the day for me. I like playing. I don't care if I'm playing to win or anything. I'm playing to have fun, or playing to have fun with concepts, whether I win or lose. And that's a lot of fun I have with my play group. I'm sure that's why I get invited back, because I keep coming up with stupid ideas and they don't always take off. I've known pro players randomly in my area over the years. Not like high-end pros, but low-end pros that back when the PTQs and stuff were really big. I even had a few come challenge me because I had weird brew decks that worked enough that somebody might have a version of it at a major event, and they wanted to test because decks had been built because everyone net decked, so everyone would have net decks that were based to counter other net decks. Well, how do you then test that net deck against any possibility? So what they would do is they'd come and talk to me, and I'd pull out some decks, and we'd play a couple matches of each deck, and we'd literally just run their net deck against some of these weird outliers that they would probably never see in the format, but somebody might bring some sort of brew of, or some sort of card that is not super powerful but powerful enough that somebody might slot it in somewhere. And so I was actually this kind of testing ground for other people in some cases. Nice number of tokens. Kind of weird that we're seeing a different thickness or an edging. So let's see that. Is that the set booster? Looks like the set booster, the card paper's a little different. That's interesting. I mean, it doesn't really matter when it comes to tokens. They don't go in your deck. You can literally use almost anything you want as a token. Token quality, that's why Wizards prints low quality tokens, but We saw what happened when they accidentally print dual face cards on token paper. I think I may actually have some of those. I have yet to ever go back and light check my my dual-sided cards from that era. But when a whole bunch of dual-sided cards got printed on token paper, but it was such a small amount that it became a weird factory misprint collector's item. It's so weird to think about. I have seen so much of Magic's history. All the ups and downs and failures and good times. I think Magic is in an interesting place. It's either, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm on edge about what Magic's future is going to be like. I think they are overprinting a few too many things. Like, the main problem I see right now is the amount of product types they're putting out. Sorry if I'm rambling on here at the end. But yeah, just the even for someone like me that picks up a lot of Magic stuff, like I've sometimes on good years when I have the money, I've spent $1,000 a set. I'm not ashamed. I do it. It's my hobby. This is what I love. I've got tons. This is the gaming type of game I personally really enjoy. I'm never going to. I've decided that I was never going to give up Magic. If I ever want, I'm going to take a break from it, but I'm never going to sell my whole collection. I'm always going to keep cards around. I'm always going to keep buying cards. Like, I'm one of the Magic diehards. I'll be here until they either shut down or it becomes my time. Let's see. So these are definitely ones that I'm not going to get a better version of. These are the versions I want. These are going in my Commander collection. So personally, for my Commander collection, I like to, if any of you like collecting random stuff, I have various special collections that I like to do. That's pretty beat up. I'll throw that away. I think this is a penny sleeve. I got random sleeves laying around because I was sorting other cards. Yeah, that's a penny sleeve. Here we go. Here's my sleeve box. Always good to keep sleeves in hand, especially when sorting. Let's see. Here's my perfect fits. And yeah, as a collector, I do buy sleeves by like the box, not the pack. Gilded here. I perfect fit anything over $5 and any Commander cards or any special collection cards. Get it fitted as best as possible. And then something funny I do that I know other people don't, but I like exploiting the Commander rule that you can have your Commander in a different sleeve. And so my Commander collection, I've got boxes here. I might crack one open real quick at the end of stream here. Is all in old orange matte Ultra Pro sleeves. And I have literally bought the majority of the market. I don't, unless they're still printing these, I own the majority of what's out. I'm positive I own the majority of what's out there. I have at least another probably 20 some packages of these. But yeah, all my Commanders are always in an orange matte Ultra Pro. Because it was just, I had gotten a collection back in the day from somebody, and they came with, don't remember if it was a deck or something. For some reason, there was a stack of orange matte Ultra Pros, and I just wanted something else to put legendaries in. And so I just went ahead and pulled out that stack of orange Ultra Pros and started sleeving legendary cards. Bit of dust and stuff in my sleeve box. And then from then I've just always done it. All my decks are in Dragon Shield black mats. I originally started with Dragon Shields, black Dragon Shields, but after the mats came out and they stopped printing the regular Dragon Shields as much, or any, I don't think they even print the regular Dragon Shields anymore. I had 3 or 4 commander decks at the time and decided right there that black mats were going to be my color going forward. A lot of my friends didn't use black as their color. They always liked some of the more colorful Dragon Shields or KMCs. So I decided black Dragon Shields it is. That's what I will run in all my decks. And I have literally, I think, 2 cases on a shelf right now of matte Dragon Shield. Because I like to save the money by buying in bulk. I have cases of penny sleeves because when I go to sort my collection out, I sort commons and uncommons into play sets of a card. That's really tight. Only problem is these old perfect fits. Sometimes you get one that was a little too tight. But my trick is you carefully 2 fingers and you stretch it just a touch. Not enough that you wrinkle it, but enough that you kind of give it a little more space. Usually gets you just about enough. Enough that you can get the perfect fit all the way on the card. And that, you know, is a snug fit then. Got some more. And then I also have other random sleeves that I use for stuff. I've been using yellow mats for emblems. I forget. I think I was using. I had a few green mats that I was using there for a while for player counter cards. So cards where you count counters on players or reminder zones, or like Monarch, those kind of cards go in green. I had in green sleeves for a while, just so you could color code them so they were easier to find. Yeah, these sleeves don't work well with my gloves. I need to find a pair of better gloves. These are pretty cheap cottons. They're a little too loose fitting and a little small on my hands. I'll have to find myself some better ones, but this is what I had. There we go. last thing. Yeah, this is what I mean by my commander collection. This is me setting aside commander, and this is it's more than just this one shoe. This is literally a shoe that's full of commanders. And so regular cards go in oh, I put it somehow I put in a bunch of white cards upside down. Let's pull them out. Yeah, it looks like those just go. So yeah, regular ones, orange mats, the dual face go in. I always put in clear sleeves because they're outside the game. You're never going to need to checklist them or even if you put them in your deck, still technically counts because this is a legitimate way to sleeve your commander, and if it gets shuffled into your deck, that's just how it is. Yeah, I've got my collection of white commanders here. I do something silly. People will probably like to sort them by alphabetical. I actually do something silly and sort mine by mana value and color cost. That's why like 3 mana value but 3 color cost. 4 mana value but 2 color cost. And I'll usually put monocolors in front. And they're all sorted by color identity. Because when building a commander deck, that's really the important part. But yeah, I'll sort these in here on another time. I've actually got to get going. We've had this stream going for about 3 hours. I need to take a break. So besides some minor hiccups, that's part of it. We'll get stuff I'll get stuff kind of fixed up, and maybe in the future we'll have some more openings. See if people want to come hang out with me. Thanks. Good day.